So our newest thing that we've learned is how to use the quadratic formula to solve for x rather than having to factor. Now the main reason for this is that as we get further into our quadratic unit, you're going to run into problems that are not as easily factored, problems that have decimals, problems that would take you forever to find the factors, or that may even be impossible to factor. When you run into these, you have a fallback that will solve every single quadratic equation for x, and that is the quadratic formula. You can see here that it is x equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Notice how I said that this is the opposite of b. All right, that's because you need to put in whatever the opposite of b is. If b is 2, you put in negative 2. If b is negative 4, you put in positive 4. You always put in the opposite of b. So let's use it to solve the problem on the right. 15c squared plus 4c equals 4. Even though we're using the letter c, we're solving for what we would normally call x. That is our variable. In this case, it's c. Sometimes it's x, sometimes it's m. So the first rule for being able to solve a quadratic equation is that it must be set equal to 0. To do this, you have to move everything to one side of the equal sign. In the case of 15c squared plus 4c equals 4, I am going to subtract 4 from the right side of the equation and move it over to the left side. That gives me 15c squared plus 4c minus 4 equals 0. Now I need to identify my a, my b, and my c to plug into the equation. A is 15, b is 4, c is negative 4. Now it's time to plug into the equation. So we've got c equals, first, we need to find our negative b, our opposite b. Since b is 4, we put in negative 4. The plus or minus the square root of b squared, that's 4 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 15, times c, which is negative 4. Extend that so that it covers them all over 2 times a, which is 15. Now using the calculator, I'm going to calculate what's underneath the square root sign. So I put in parentheses 4 squared minus 4 times 15 times negative 4. That gives me 256. So c equals negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 256 over 2 times 15 is 30. What is the square root of 256? Put that into your calculator, and you get 16. C is equal to negative 4 plus or minus 16 over 30. Now you know that we can have up to 2 answers on here, and that is the importance of the plus or minus that you see. You must break this up into 2 separate equations to solve. One equation uses the plus, the other equation uses the minus. C equals 4 plus 16 divided by 30, and the other one is C equals 4 minus 16 divided by 30. Plug these into your calculator. 4 plus 16 is 20, so we get 20 over 30, which is 2 over 3. That's one answer. Down here, 4 minus 16 is negative 12, so you get negative 12 over 30, and you can fix that and make it be, both of them divided by 2, that'll be 6 over 15. Negative 6 over 15 is your final 2 answers. So you got 2/3, and you have negative 6 over 15. So your 2 answers you can write different ways. In this case, I'm going to use the brackets that we saw in the warm-up. You get 2/3, comma, -6 over 15, and close the brackets. That is your answer for C.